So if you guys have been following this vlog for a while, a couple of days ago, somewhere in the 30s range of the vlogs, we did one on the Manor Hotel, and when I did it, there was tons of shrubbery up here, so you really couldn't see. That's the Renaissance restaurant. You really couldn't see inside that much. And then just bad luck, I guess, or just bad timing. The next day they went and cleared everything. They cleared all the brush, and now you can actually see the fountain and you can get a better view of the building. So I just figured, shoot, start today's vlog off by giving a little update to one from the other day, especially because at this point the vlog's still pretty new, and so that's a better view. That's kind of what you would have seen on that little postcard shot that I had incorporated in it. So just a little update for you. And here's a sweeping front shot. Just to show you, I mean, like I said, I love the fact that somebody owns it who appreciates it, and they clear it enough away that you can get a better view and kind of appreciate the grounds. What it would have been like while Gable and Flynn and Ed Sullivan would have lived here. That little gazebo that's in there. They were doing so much work on the outside that day, I couldn't really get it, but there we go. Just a little update to the Manor Hotel. What are we gonna do today? Huh? I think we definitely got to go to the park. That'll be the plus side of your day. Hey, my friend, Ja. The downside of your day is that you have to do the one thing today that you don't like. You got to get your nails cut. It's the one job I'm not willing to do for you because you've never been cooperative. Well, I guess I got a shirt from a show I never got to see. When we were leaving, they were selling these bootlegger ones out front, and I thought, well, we didn't get in, but heck, in 5 or 10 years, would I want the last tour of Black Sabbath shirt, even though I couldn't pay the $150 minimum to get in? No, I would want the shirt, so we got the shirt. And that's the back. Pretty cool. Now for the Mr. Rogers segment of our show. Since the shirt has some purple in it, we're gonna go with the purple shoes. These things are awesome. People love them when I wear them. I don't know why. I mean, they are awesome, but I wouldn't expect anybody other than me to want to say anything about it. Well, we're in the dog groomer so that Jock can get his nails cut. He is not going to enjoy this. See, there he is. It's not his favorite thing in the world. I think Jock would look good with something like that. See, he's doing pretty good. Usually he's squirming a little bit, but he's doing perfect right now. He's not complaining at all, actually. Now he is, now that I said something. You're looking at a man that feels like he just got out of death row sentencing, like he just got pardoned. He couldn't wait to get out of there. He really gave her trouble on the last paw. Come on, let's go home. How's it feel to be a free man again, Ja? He does not like that one bit. That is like jail to him. I do appreciate history, and I appreciate all the accomplishments of Walt Disney and what one man can do when you kind of like follow your dreams. Especially him, who had failed a few times and still managed to somehow make his dreams not only of becoming a director and doing animated films, but God, for what most of us know him for today, I mean, even beyond the movies, which was the theme parks. So where we are today is when Walt left Missouri, when his very first production, which was Laugh-O-Gram, or that was his studio name, failed. He moved out here to Los Angeles, Silver Lake area. He had an uncle named Robert Disney who allowed him to rent a room. And Walt convinced his brother Roy
to come out of the sanitarium for, I think he was being treated for tuberculosis, and come join him and work for him. They formed the Disney Brothers. Now, the Disney Brothers, where they did all their work, was there was actually a shed in the backyard of this house, in the backyard area of Uncle Robert's house. Now that shed isn't there. There's a different shed there now. It's like an identical replica, but yeah, this is the house that Uncle Robert allowed them to live in, well, rented to them. And then the back, like I said, is where they had their workshop studio. Now, from what I understand online, the owners of this house now didn't know the significance of the house and had filed to make changes, and the Disney community went nuts. People were calling and just going crazy, so the person who bought it just didn't know, and so now he's doing every effort to keep it in its original form. But I think it's right down here. Yeah, this was the house. So they both lived there, and then they formed the Disney Brothers in the back. The reason the shed was moved was because the old owner, actually I don't know why the shed was moved, probably just for historical purposes. It's in Garden Grove, but there's like an identical replica of it. Helicopters. But oh, I was gonna say, when they moved out of Uncle Robert's house and quit renting rooms there, they moved across the street into the house across the street, and then they moved their studio a few blocks down the street, exactly where I parked, and that place became Disney Brothers Production Studios. That was where they had their first employees. They had everything kind of took off from there, and that place is just a copy place now, but they kind of celebrate the history, and they actually happen to be open, so I think I'll be able to go in and maybe get some footage of the inside. Well, there's the house. That was the first residence that Walt Disney and his brother Roy Disney lived in. I hear the owners before the current owners replaced everything, so nothing about the house is original except for that front door. The front door is the original front door. And their workshop, where they did their very first animations, was back there, and you can see the blue building back there now. That's where it was. That was the original place. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then this house right here was the house that Walt and Roy moved out and into and rented rooms there. They stayed there when they moved out of Uncle Robert's house, and when they moved into here, Roy decided to get married, and they had the wedding right there at the house. And like I said, that blue building back there in the back, you can see that's an identical replica of the building that they used to work out of. It's a cool little toy truck in there. Now I'm just walking about 3 blocks down the street from the houses where they were living, and I'm gonna go back over here to where the very first official business studio was. Not the Walt Disney Company, this was the Disney Brothers. It's the first official studio, and the people that are using the space now are pretty proud of it. You can tell by the front. There's the number to call if you are. Electrical box art, obviously. Looks like a girl checking her cell phone. Huh. Little FYI. We're pretty much here. I wonder if Walt Disney had to deal with people skateboarding in front of the studio when he lived here, or when he worked here in the animation studio. Here it is. See where it says copy notary fax? This was it. And see, they're pretty proud of it because what do you see right there? And right there. There's some pretty famous pictures of Walt in front of this place with some other people. I'll try and go ahead and post those.
Here you can kind of match up the bricks off to the lower right.
A little bit of a further shot so you can kind of see some more stuff. Actually, one of the shots that I had seen online was kind of them right there. The lady who owns the business doesn't want any footage from the inside, so I guess you guys can't see it. Too bad. There's a lot of like historical pictures and history in there, so fortunately she's not too kind to the Disney community on this issue, so I tried. On the outside, and there's the outside of what it was. Pretty small space too. Unfortunately, I wish I could have shown you. That was really unfortunate that she wouldn't let me film the inside. It was nothing really special, but the whole thing was a dedication to Disney. She had a big painting of like, it was the shape of the Mickey Mouse logo with like a whole scene from like the Seven Dwarfs and Snow White in there. A ton of pictures from the inside when the Disney brothers were in there working. So if you're in the area, pop in and take a look. I tried and she just was not very kind. I'm sorry.
The first successful part of Walt's journey was the Alice comedy. And that's what he was making in that storefront that I filmed but couldn't get the inside of, which is unfortunate. But when he started, I'm eating at Soup Plantation, having ice cream now. When he started making money off there, he spent $400 and rented out a 3-office section of Hyperion that I'm going to take you guys to next. One of the rooms was Walt's office, one was Roy's office, and then the last was like a camera room, an animation room, and there's several pictures online, so I'll be able to post pictures of Walt in his office and the music room and stuff like that. So next stop, Hyperion, the site of the very first Walt Disney Pictures, or studios, whatever you want to call it. It was no longer, at this point, Roy had talked Walt out of calling it the Disney Brothers, and it is now Walt Disney. The beginning of history.
Well, we're definitely at the right block, aren't we? 2700 block of Hyperion. Why don't we take a look? Well, this was the former site of the very first Disney Studios. Can you believe it? Can you believe that this is what it's turned into? It's a shopping plaza. This is the back view of it. Now what it sounds like is when it started out as 3 offices, and then Walt just kept buying and buying and buying up property until it took up a huge stretch. And I'm actually going to post pictures of that whole big stretch of land, like an overshot, so you can kind of see how much space it really took up. Proof is in the pudding, baby. And that's the proof. Here's Walt in his office on Hyperion. And some of the boys singing along in the music room of Disney Animation. That's what it's turned into. This is why I complain about history. People not caring about history, because now you got a grocery store where Walt Disney started. Ugh. See what kind of artwork this guy did. Looks like some treasure map stuff. Cool. Feel like you're in They Live yet? It's a pretty cool location for a house way up on that hill. I like it. Looks like we're going in the pet store. He's decided. I got an interesting message today on YouTube from somebody who's been watching the videos that wanted to know if I had done a vlog about my story. Who I am, where I'm from, what I do. No, I don't. I don't have one. That's a good point. I should, shouldn't I? So, I was gonna do it today for him, and I told him I would, and I'm sorry I lied. But all the locations today have really taken up a lot of time, I mean. And I try not to make the videos super long all the time, because I want, when I do a 23 or 25 or 29 minute video, I want people to know that I can be trusted not to put the swill in there, to put only good stuff. So I don't want to make them long just for the sake of making them long. So I promise, I have to work a long day on Saturday. So it's very possible that Saturday will be that day that I'll put that or the time capsule vlog that I mentioned out. But rest assured, now that it's been asked for, totally makes sense, and I'll totally do it for you. And that's why I like the comments. That's why I like people leaving feedback, because those are the kind of things I just hadn't thought of. I wonder if it's the same person who stole Pee-wee's bike. Was it Francis? That's a great one. That's a great one. Everyone loves grilled cheese.